famous influencer in Mexico. When people take out hits, they'll leave a pig's head on top of that person. And her friend tells her behind the camera, no, you can't go. There's another gift coming for you. And then you just see her take 3 bullets. And the first bullet, I've watched this video so many times at this point, she's wearing like a chain necklace. And the first bullet, because people were saying it was fake.
The TikTok influencer that got killed,
Valeria,
live streaming.
Yeah. So Valeria was a famous influencer in Mexico. She had that buchona look, which is, you know, the body, small waist, you know, curves, long blonde hair from Guadalajara. And Guadalajara is a hot spot. It's the CG&G, you know, birthplace, Jalisco. And so a lot of people followed her because she was pretty, but also because she was always on live streaming, keeping it pretty real. She would just eat her favorite snacks on there. And actually, since she was murdered, people in her memory have been like buying her favorite snacks and posting about it and to keep her alive. Now she's on this live stream and she's at her beauty salon that she owned. And she tells the audience that she's been told she's receiving 3 gifts that day. And the last one is going to be an expensive gift. And so she's kind of talking through, she's excited. And a friend of hers is also at the salon with her. And first she gets a Starbucks. A delivery man comes by, drops a Starbucks. And I think at that same delivery, she got a plushie of a pig. And it's so interesting because in Mexico too, like a pig or a pig's head is really significant. You know, it's like puerco. So you get a lot of the times too, people will, in Guadalajara even, when people take out hits, they'll leave a pig's head on top of that person. Show that person was dirty or vile, whatever the message it may be. And she got that plushie. And then she gets flowers, and then she's waiting for her 3rd most expensive gift. And she starts saying in the live stream, she goes, ya me ondié. Like, I'm creeped out. Something's wrong. And you can tell she's kind of on edge. And she says, you know what, girls, I think I'm gonna go. I'm kind of creeped out. And her friend tells her behind the camera, no, you can't go. There's another gift coming for you. And some context to this is that Valeria had received gifts from viewers before. She really liked gifts, and she would talk about how she would date men who would give her extravagant gifts, and a lot of viewers would send her things. And someone comments in the chat, you shouldn't tell people where you are. And she says, well, you know, everyone knows that this is my salon, something along those lines. And then a delivery man comes, she's looking out, and she mutes the live. And then you just see her take 3 bullets. And the first bullet, I've watched this video so many times at this point, she's wearing like a chain necklace. And the first bullet, because people were saying it was fake and that it didn't look like the bullet even hit her. But the first bullet hits her necklace and her necklace goes flying off. It hits the pendant. The whole necklace goes flying off. She gets shot again, and then she gets shot in the head. And she's like slumped over and her hair is covering her whole face. So the video is really jarring because you're seeing a woman get murdered on live, being shot 3 times. But it's not like this cinematic boom, 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 and she's all bludgeoned. And she just kind of slumps in, and she's holding the pig plushie too, dead. And the friend comes over, picks up the phone, and turns off the live stream. And people were saying, you know, you didn't hear screaming, but it's important to keep in mind she muted the live. Why did she mute the live? If she was so scared, why didn't she leave? She already had that feeling. And so people are saying that the friend set her up, or that her ex-boyfriend, who is allegedly part of organized crime, I want to say, like, objectively just an unattractive guy, especially for a girl she's very beautiful. She had a very striking look. They say he was responsible for it. But the interesting thing is, where is the forensics in Mexico and an investigation? She was murdered now like weeks ago at this point, and nobody has come out to say who the main suspects are, what the state of the investigation is. And this became international news because there's this beautiful girl being murdered on TikTok live stream, and people interacting with her as she's talking about being scared. People in the comments were even saying to her, if you feel weirded out or uncomfortable, just go home. I mean, if this was a hit that was planned on her, then it would have happened no matter where she was. Then you have a lot of conspiracy theorists or people, conspiracies going around saying that she didn't actually die. She was probably being threatened, and so she faked her death on live, and that it was AI, and it doesn't, the way the blood splatters on the table and the way she falls over holding the plushie, it just doesn't look like someone who had been shot 3 times. So this, though, the murder speaks volumes to the state of Mexico, like the entire country, because over the past couple of months, a lot of YouTubers and social media influencers have fallen victim to being publicly murdered like this. Whether they have narco ties or not is one thing, but this is certainly sending a message. If you do not do what we say, or follow our agenda, especially with the large platform you have, or you do us dirty, you're dead. And, the problem too with this being so publicized is there's a lot of false information that's coming out and a lot of false theories that people are taking and running with as if it's fact. So, and then people are also editing fake videos of her. I saw one video of her, and it's very hard to tell if it's real or not, where she's got a song in the background and she's kind of like lip syncing it. And the caption on the video is like, basically to the gist of, use men for what they can give you, enjoy the benefits of it. But, basically like have multiple guys who can give you nice things and don't get attached. And people were saying, she was a gold digger who messed with the wrong person and she got her karma, which at the end of the day, someone was murdered. So it's really fucked up to say that, even if this isn't a perfect victim to you. But it's also hard to tell what is real and what isn't about her because it's such a publicized case. She had such a large platform on social media, and there doesn't seem to be much transparency with her investigation.
Why do you think she was murdered?
One of 2 reasons. So I have 2 theories. I think the one that sticks out to me the most is she was probably dating the wrong guys. She didn't grow up wealthy. She came from very humble beginnings. And I think that, she was a beautiful girl and she used that to her advantage. Dated guys who were cartel associates, part of organized crime, and she pissed someone off. She had already posted previously on her Instagram screenshots of messages with a boyfriend where he was threatening to kill her and said, you've never seen me mad and you don't want to see me mad, but you're going to force me to do something I don't want to do. And she posted and said, if something happens to me or my family, it's this guy. So that's what I think happened, is that she broke up with a guy who had a very fragile ego, or she did him dirty in some way in terms of their relationship, and he sought revenge. And he did it publicly to send a message. It makes sense to do it on live. This is what happens if you're gonna fuck with me or make a fool of me.